IVM.
Hello and welcome to the Habit Coach Podcast, the bite-sized podcast filled with quick and easy, actionable habits. Remember, great habits create that awesome life. I'm Ashdin, Doctor, your habit coach. And today's episode is a special for Women's Day, a day to celebrate women and accept how amazing they are. I studied in an arts college, which meant that I was one of 4 boys in a class of 120 girls. As a result, all my friends are girls. I'm more comfortable talking to girls than I'm with boys. I have about 5 friends that are boys. I've seen my friends grow from being little college girls, timid, unsure of who they were, unsure of how they were expected to behave in society, to becoming beautiful, strong women, taking control, juggling work, life, kids, husbands, and even the neighbors' problems. Women are amazing. They're way stronger than us men. When my friends get pregnant, I tell them that I could never imagine something growing in my tummy. That's just crazy. So I decided to do a podcast on women for both men and women. On Instagram, I asked, what would you like me to cover on a Women's Day episode? And here are a few of the responses. 1. How to tackle tiredness during one's period. How can women empower themselves from insensitive men? Why is women's time of the month seen as being taboo? 2. The period being taboo and sexual organs being taboo. Stop treating this as taboo. We need to work with it, use it. Why women don't prioritize health as much as they do family. Then we had mood swings, emotions, cravings during PMS and periods. How to be treated as equals. Making friends with our vaginas and not treating them as something alien. PCOD and sugar. Do you see a trend forming from these answers? There are clearly 3 big things. Society and men and how we should treat women. 2, the period being taboo and sexual organs being taboo. And 3, how to deal with PMS and emotions and cravings. So first up, I don't want this podcast to be a lecture for men because it should be a podcast on empowering women instead. So boys, you're safe for now. So let's talk periods or menstruation or that time of the month. I even had an aunt who would call it women's problems. That's so just upsetting. It's not a problem. It's your strength, as we're going to learn today. My first learning about periods started when I would notice my best friend in college hide something in a newspaper and run to the toilet mid-lecture. I had no idea what was going on. We soon started dating and I asked her, what was all that about? That's when she told me about periods and that she was hiding a pad. It made me wonder, why all this secrecy? Why all this hiding? And over the years, I've had many discussions with all my friends about it. It's not icky and it doesn't freak me out at all. Then, when I started getting into the health and wellness space, I started talking to my doctor friends and learning even more about it. Now, obviously, since I don't have a menstrual cycle, I cannot speak from my experience. So I'm going to take what I learned from my friends, mix it with science, and present that to you. Firstly, I want to say, girls, stop fighting the period. It's what makes you unique. I speak to my friends in their late 40s and 50s. They love their period because they have learned to work with it. A friend of mine says she feels so clean and light after a period, and she looks forward to it, especially since she knows that it will not be around too much longer. When we were in college, my friends would always tell me how they struggled with it. They would tell me how they hated it. Guys, it's your body and you need to show some love and compassion to it. I realize some of you will be on different parts of this journey. Understand it's a superpower. It gives you the ability to make life. Everyone you see around you was once a period that got missed. First things first, PMS and cravings. If the job of the uterus is to make a baby, it will need nutrients. We have to learn to listen to our body and understand what it needs. The cravings are nothing but your body asking for vitamins and minerals. If we keep fighting it, we will only feel frustration. Instead, let's learn to read them. A sugar craving could be the need for vitamins from fruits. So we have one fruit without the guilt. The craving is not for a large brownie because there's no nutrients in it. The desire to eat chocolate could be a need for magnesium. So make hot chocolate using stevia or cocoa powder instead. And if you really, really want to add sugar to it, do it. One day will not make a difference. The fighting will make it worse. Enjoy yourself, but don't go crazy. The next two things I heard on a recent Bulletproof podcast and thought they would be perfect to share with you on Women's Day. The first is about a study that discovered that women have the ability to grow muscle much faster if they do weight training on the first 2 to 3 days of their period. Unfortunately, most women stick to cardio machines or high-intensity exercises, and these, of course, are not much fun on your period. And if you've been following my podcast, you must have heard me say many, many times that muscle building is a very important part of both men and women. So use this time efficiently. Instead of struggling and fighting with it, use it for strength training. And now, of course, the first day of your period is different for different women. If you're very weak and in tremendous amount of pain, don't exercise. If not, then use this time to focus on muscle building exercises. It's a hidden superpower. And please, don't worry, you will not begin to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. The next superpower I want to talk about has to do with attraction. The face of a woman changes during different days in the monthly cycle. During ovulation, the face changes and looks more attractive. The lips plump up, the cheeks get a hint of redness, and a certain glow appears on the face. These changes are very subtle, but are picked up subconsciously by both men and women. And this is the time of the month when women are most fertile and hence is the best way to attract a mate. Not just the look, but the scent of an ovulating woman changes and is more attractive and sweet to a male. This in fact starts a few days before, during the follicular phase of the menstrual cycle. As a result, both men and women respond to you in a positive manner when you are in this phase. They appear genuinely more interested in what you have to say. You get more yeses than you get no's during this phase. And isn't that amazing? Why am I calling this a superpower? Just think about it. You could use this to your advantage. Take all your best selfies during this time. Change your Tinder photo to one taken during this time. Fix important meetings during this time. Record the best videos during this time. Use this to your advantage. Your hormones are working for you. But how will you know if you're in this stage of the menstrual cycle? Start by tracking it. There are apps on your phone that you can use to track your cycle. Then spend some time learning about it from resources online. Learn about the 4 stages, how your body temperature changes, how different parts of your body change or get more sensitive during what stages. As your habit coach, I want you to know that this is your body's superpower. We need to stop fighting it. Stop treating it as taboo. We need to work with it. Use it. Share this podcast with your friends. Men, share this podcast with the women in your life. Empowering and growing together is the need of the hour. Here's wishing all you amazing women out there a happy Women's Day. So start these habits and share with us your progress using the hashtag #TheHabitCoach. If you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on social media. We are at IVM Podcasts on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I am Ashdin Doc on Twitter and Instagram. You can find lots more information on my website, awesome180.com, or check out different content on my YouTube channel called AWESOME180. That's Awesome180.
Welcome to Peak Planet, a new podcast where we delve into the fallouts of the growth path that we, and indeed much of the world, has chosen. Sustainable growth is the buzzword. Until we nail that down, we need to ensure that we keep our population healthy and also have the resources for our increasingly urban lifestyles. I'm Karthik Ganesan, a researcher at the Council on Energy, Environment and Water, a Delhi-based policy research institute where for almost a decade we've been trying to explain and change the use, reuse and misuse of our resources. In the first season of Peak Planet, we take up air pollution, public enemy number 1 and an invisible one at that. Increasingly, the most important risk factor for adverse health outcomes, air pollution has become the most unwanted byproduct of our aggressively growing economy. Over 4 episodes, we find out how prepared our systems are to deal with this crisis. You can catch the entire first season of Peak Planet out now on the IVM Podcasts app or website, or wherever you get your podcast from.
नमस्ते, मैं हूँ सौरभ चंद्रा।
और मैं प्रणय कुटस्थाने।
जब महफिल खत्म होते होते दरवाजे के बाहर पुलिया के ऊपर हम दुनिया भर की जटिल समस्याओं को सॉल्व करने में लग जाते हैं तो हो जाती है पुलियाबाजी।
अब आजकल के अपार्टमेंट वालों ने तो कभी पुलिया देखी नहीं होगी, पर आप फीलिंग तो समझ ही सकते हैं।
तो आइए शामिल हो जाइए हमारी पुलियाबाजी में, जहाँ प्रणय और मैं एक से एक इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक्स की तह तक जाएंगे।
आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, बिटकॉइन, पाकिस्तान, मेडिकल एजुकेशन, करेंसी क्राइसिस, कभी हम दोनों के साथ और अक्सर स्पेशल एक्सपर्ट गेस्ट की कंपनी में।
सुनिए हमें IVM की वेबसाइट, ऐप या अपने फेवरेट पॉडकास्टिंग प्लेटफॉर्म पर हर दूसरे हफ्ते।